Welcome back to another episode of the Last Man Standing podcast. I'm your host, DiNero, joined with me.
Coco.
Hey, and we are here. We are here. Let's lead off with the good. Last Man Standing. Those of you that have been faithful viewers, you will remember that I did say about mid-November, coming around close to week 10, Last Man Standing would be over. Well, we're on week 9, and 30 people lost last week.
Last week was definitely rough,
To say the least. Yeah, so there's about 6 people left in Last Man Standing. Unfortunately, we're not one of them this year. And yeah, it's looking like, based off of last week, this should probably end by week 10. Yeah, let's just get into week 8 recap, I guess. Collectively, we liked about 10 picks, and we went 4 and 6. So not exactly anything to really brag about. Individually, I went 5 and 9, and Coco went 7 and 7. So she kind of had like a push week, which is good because if you have been following her, she has had the hot hand. I believe last week was like 10 and 4, and then the week before that it was like what?
It's like 7 or 8. No,
I think you had it was either somewhere like 9 to 11 W's. So you've been hot, which I'm not surprised, because just like if you would have been in Last Man Standing, you probably would be winning it, because this is around that time period you get hot. You just had that week. Just got caught at the bad time on that week. Yeah. I'm not very thrilled. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing. I don't like not making money. But, I'm not going to let it beat me up. I look a little defeated, but it's all good. We're only halfway through the season, so that just means there's a whole nother half. So I'm not going to let it take me out. We lost last Thursday. We were on the same pick, but this Thursday we were on different picks. I believe I've won 2 Thursdays the whole season. So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt if you want to follow me. I just can't see how this team doesn't cover tomorrow, or today, I should say. Packers. The line opened up at a -2.5. When this line opened up, I was talking to some of my fellow capping colleagues, and I was like, this line makes no sense. 2.5. I'm like, with all the injuries that the 49ers have, Green Bay coming off of a loss, it just doesn't make sense. If that line stays at 2.5, it's a trap. I'm like, that line should be almost a whole touchdown. And then fast forward 3-4 days later, line's already up to 6. Sure, it would not surprise me if before kickoff, if it gets to a solid 7. If this line does get to a solid 7, by half the point, by the hook, get it at 6.5. Yeah, the 6 is what it's at right now, and I like it because I do like them to win by a touchdown. But yeah, if it gets to 7, at that point now it's just looking kind of trappy. Honestly, I would probably say I would just do like a teaser at that point. Because if it gets all the way to 7, I think I would much rather have Packers win and 49ers plus 14 or something than to risk just Packers -7. So like I said, I'm on Packers. Coco is on 49ers. Any specific reason why you chose 49ers? Just fading me? Just going by the numbers?
No, I liked 49ers long before I knew for sure you were taking Packers. Again, like I've said this multiple times where I'm like, some of my strategy will not make sense to you.
Hey, I don't think they really care because your strategy
Right.
works. So
That's what I'm
whatever
saying. I'm also
whatever you're doing, it's all good.
Right. I'm like, my strategy sometimes will not make sense to you. Sometimes I don't really, not gonna just, because if it was supposed to be like they're supposed to win, then there would be no point of the game. That's kind of like my logic, but behind any competition where it's like, oh, this is a better team, they should win. How many times have you seen in college where it's like, this team is dominating, they should win, and they end up getting their ass kicked by some team? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I think that's just kind of where my mind is at. I'm like, logically, yeah, Packers should cover. So for some reason, it's telling me Thursday night, and Thursday night is just known for upsets. So I'm like, I'm kind of going to go with the upset night.
I mean, makes sense. Makes sense when you put it that way. Yeah. So yeah, once again, a recap on that. 6 people left in the last man standing.
It's a little crazy because I felt really good about last week. Like, I don't know. I felt really, really good and like secure on last week. I mean, obviously I pushed, so it's, yeah, a little upsetting, but this week is the week that I'm like, oh my God, like, I feel, I don't want to say intimidated, but I'm like, man, like, these numbers,
I feel like you're going to go 5-9 like me.
You know what I mean? Like, that kind of scenario, but it's like, but then when I felt so good about last week, and then I do 7-7, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, that's, again, with the whole shoulda, coulda, woulda, like, it's, what's the point of the game if this team should win? It's like, well, they won. No, you don't know. That's why they're playing. So week 9 is going to be interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to cap this and turn the ship around. We definitely want to start the second half of the season on a high note. It is going to be a little tricky. There's going to be some traps in there, but with Coco right here, I'm sure we can get it done. All right, you got anything else?
No.
All right, guys. Till next week.
Bye.
If she got good head, I buy a Sonic slushy, but I can't give her no money. Throw it back like a pro bitch. Drop that pussy like a boat bitch. Get that bag, middle fingers up to a pro.
I'll be in there for a Sonic Slush.